So here in this video, we're going to have a look at how we can work with books and pages to work with a lot of content within Moodle. So one thing you might want to avoid on your Moodle page is actually adding all that content into the homepage of the course so that it becomes a very long scrolling course. And one way of managing that is to actually create pages or books with some of that content in. So we're going to have a very quick look at how we can make a page, and then we're going to jump into having a look at how we can work with books. So we're going to turn edit mode on up at the top right, and then we're going to come into topic 2 here where we're going to add our page and our book. So I'm going to click add an activity or resource, and if you come to resources, you'll find the page option right here. So we can click add page, and this is really a very simple page where we can add text, images and video into it, but it's going to exist as its own page. So we'll just call this intro to geography, and we're going to grab some content in here. We can add a short description here which can appear on the course page. So if you want to kind of give people a little teaser of that content, and then in the page content itself, we can add in some text. Now I'm just pasting in some text there. We'll have a look at how we add images and video when we actually get into the book side of things. So this is one way of very quickly adding that content to your course. I'll hit save and display, and now it will exist on its own separate page. So you can see on the home page of the course, we're not adding any long content to that. We have our short description. We'll just turn off edit mode. So we get that short description, and then when we click into the page, we'll get our text and images and video if we've embedded them. So that's good for dealing with kind of slightly longer chunks of text. But if you have a textbook's worth of text, then using the book resource will be a good option for you. So we'll come back to topic 2 here. We'll turn edit mode back on, and we'll add an activity or resource. So we're going to come to our resources, and you can see we have the book option up here. So the first thing we need to do is name our book. And then again, we can add a short description of that content that will appear on the home page. And now we can hit save and display. And when we hit save and display here, it's going to essentially jump right into the book where we can add a new chapter. So we're going to add a couple of chapters, and then we're going to have a look at how we add subchapters within this book as well. So we'll drop in some content here. And obviously you can type in the content manually, or you can just copy and paste it from a Word document or another source. So we'll hit save changes. And now we have the first chapter of our book. So you can see if we turn editing off, then across on the right, we have our table of contents building. We have our first chapter, and we'll turn edit mode back on. And then you can see next to our first chapter, we have the little plus icon. So we can hit plus here, and then we can add our second chapter. And we're just pasting in some text that we've already prepared there. So I'll hit save changes. And you can see now if I turn editing off, I can quickly navigate between those two chapters and so on and so forth. We can keep adding new chapters to our book. Now we can also add subchapters to our book as well. So if we turn edit mode on, next to the first chapter, we're going to hit the little plus, and we can see the previous chapter is what is geography. So chapter 1, we're going to add this as a subchapter. So it'll be 1.1, and we'll paste in that title and that content. So we'll save the changes, and we can keep going with this. So you can see we've got our subchapter there. We'll add a couple more quickly, just pasting in the text there, save those changes, and we can see our book building up quite nicely. One last subchapter here. So you can see now when we turn edit mode off, we have a list of all of those chapters on the right. So we can move through them nice and slickly, or we can click the next button to move through them. One nice feature of these books is that we can either view them on Moodle, or if we want to export it, we can export that book to Microsoft Word. So we can export the entire book. So you can see here we've downloaded it, and we have that whole book in a Word format. So easy to download, and then easy for people to view offline as well. We can also, if we come to the more option here, go to the print book option, which will bring up a new window in a printable format. And then we can either print this, or if we go to print, I can save this out as a PDF on the Mac as well, to have a PDF version of my book. So we'll cancel that out and come back to our book. So we can also add in images and video in here too. So if I come and turn edit mode on, you can see I've got a few options here. I've got options to move my chapters up and down. So there's up and down arrows. I can delete my chapters by hitting the trash can. It will give you a warning before you delete, so don't worry about accidentally deleting stuff. We can also hide things as well. So if you want to release chapters as you move through your course, you can do that as well. And then if we come back to the settings here, we can edit our book. So I'm going to edit the first page here. So first of all, we're going to have a look at how we embed an image. So I'm going to hit enter, and we're going to click the little insert or edit image button, browse our repositories. We'll choose this Himalayas image that we have, and we'll upload that. I'm going to leave it at the full size, so it will auto size with that page. And important to add in that text description of your image as well, unless it really is a decorative image, in which case you can check that it's decorative and leave the text out. We'll save that image, and you can see we've embedded that image there. So we'll add one more image, browse our repositories, and we'll choose this New York file, upload this, and hit save image. And so you can see those images, if we just stretch this out a little bit, embed really nicely into there. We can also embed video as well. Now, depending on your Moodle platform, you may want to go and get the HTML embed code to embed in your Moodle. But here we're going to use Kaltura to embed. But first of all, we're going to jump to YouTube and just copy the web address of this video. Then if we come back to our page, we will come to the Kaltura button across here on the right. And then in here, we're going to click Add New, and we're going to add a new YouTube video. And in here, we're going to paste in that URL, press preview, check that that video is public. We can see that it's playing back nicely. It grabs the name of that video and then also a short description. We can hit save, and then we can hit save and embed up at the top right, and that will add this Kaltura embed code in here. So when we hit save changes, you can see we've got our image and our text working nicely together. And then we have our embedded video down here as well. If we hit play, it's going to begin playing through that video. So that's how to begin to create a book in Moodle. Again, if we come back to our topic 2, you can see it's really helping to keep the content down on that main page of your course, and then to organize it in such a way that students aren't scrolling through a lot of content, and they can jump in and have well organized and easy to navigate content within this book format with multimedia content within those pages. We can import chapters as well from an HTML file or from a Word document created with Microsoft Word or LibreOffice, which is an open source text editor. And then once you've imported it, you'll be able to go in and edit it as we have been with this document. We can also back up our books as well. So if we come to More and Backup, then we can export out our book content on its own. So if we hit next here, you can see it's going to download this book content. And if we hit next, we can see the content it's going to back up, and it will be contained in a Moodle specific zip file that you can then upload and use within another course in the future. It's a real advantage of creating content within the open source platform that is Moodle, is that you can move that content around easily from course to course. So we'll cancel the backup here. And hopefully that's a good overview of how to begin to create a book within Moodle. If you do have any questions, then please do get in touch.